Hey, this is your boy Jay from JNETICS, and welcome to JNETICS Live. And I just got to tell everybody, I'm so excited to be here today. This is going to be an amazing time. We have a show here, and I'm just really excited to tell my story finally. As many of you know, I've been on Fox 11 News, I've been on Sharon Osbourne's show, I've been on several shows, and I can just tell you, they don't really get the whole story. So now I got my own show and I'm excited about it, and now I can do what I need to do. So I want to start by saying, tell a little bit about me, because many might ask, why do I need to listen to you? What's so different about you that, that I need to listen to, or I need to follow? And I just want to say this. First of all, I'm no different than you are, but I'm a guy that's been through a lot. But guess what? I'm out on the other side. First of all, Jay Williams, Michigan native, and was raised by my dad. Yes, my dad. And my grandmother helped out, but basically my dad raised me. So one of the biggest things that I learned, my dad was definitely a hands-on father, and one of the things that I learned was how to be proud of what you have. And there was a lot of things we did not have, but I didn't know that because my dad made sure that I had what I needed. So my story starts with, I was homeless when I came to Los Angeles, and when I got here, I didn't know stuff cost what it cost, and I actually stayed in my '74 Chevrolet Impala for about 8 years. Yes, that's a long time, but 8 years. Yes, and you can verify the story because Fox 11 News ran it. And one of the biggest things that I learned was, no matter what happens, you have to keep going. Now, many might say, well, why don't I want to listen to you? Well, because he was homeless? No, because you hear a lot of stories like that now. But the idea is this happened over a good 25, 30 years ago. So this is not brand new. So I had to persevere. Someone asked, how does that look? Well, you're on drugs. Why were you homeless? Good question. But it wasn't for drinking and it wasn't for drugs, right? I didn't have any money and I came to Los Angeles with no money, right? That sounds weird, but when your money runs out, it runs out. So the idea was I had to have a place to stay, and that's pretty much where I stayed. Made friends with all the maitre d's and made friends with all the people in hotels. They let me sleep in some of the hotel rooms and things like this, which I did from time to time, but that was a luxury. So that's how I made it through a lot of that. Met a lot of people, met a lot of different people on the street, and I learned a lot about life, and I learned a lot about accepting people for who they are and their conditions and not to judge. So moving forward, the next piece was I started working in the car wash, and that's when I met Tony McEwing from Fox 11 News, as many know. And I tried to encourage people with my story because one of the biggest pieces that people don't always get is the full story. They don't really get, man, was that true? Is that real? Well, why would you want to follow a guy that ain't been through anything? Why would you want to follow somebody that hasn't persevered through anything? So one of the biggest pieces, I had to persevere. I had a hands-on father. People ask me, what about your dad? I had a hands-on father. My dad whipped me. My dad beat me. My dad did whatever he had to do to get my mind right, if you will. I got 7 brothers and 6 sisters. I was raised alone, just me and my dad. That was it. And the biggest piece was I still persevered, right? I wasn't always this way and I wasn't always this positive, but then I found the Lord. And one of the biggest pieces in doing that is what gave me that hope again, that joy again. But it was always in there. And I try to tell people wherever I go, it doesn't matter where you are and what you've gone through, there's still a light in you. Now, if you're going to bring that forward, then bring it forward. But never let nobody tell you what your future is going to be or how you're going to be, because that's not how it's going to be, right? It's going to be the way you make it. Right? And that's exactly that's what I reserve to. I never drank in my life. I never smoked. I never did drugs. And I still haven't to this day. Someone says, well, why? Well, the biggest reason, when I was 7 years old, my grandmother said to me, promise me you won't drink. Promise me you won't smoke. And in those times, back in the old days, back in '72, when my grandmother was alive, she said, if you give me your word, keep it. Well, to this very day, I've never changed my word. And to this very day, I've never smoked, drank, none of that. Does that mean I'm better than you? No, no. That means I'm still a human being. I lied, I cheated, I did some things that I'm not proud of, but I never did those things, and I never hurt other people. What I had to understand was how to come in contact with realism, right? Some people out there right now are saying, man, I'm awful, or I'm this, or man, don't let your past dictate your future. Right? My life now, where I've been, my life now is a story of helping other people. I love Zig Ziglar's quote. He said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Well, I'm excited about that because I want to connect with people now, right? You're talking to a homeless man, right? And they said, Jay, you're homeless, man, but why do you have this fire? That's in me, bro. That's in you. That young girl out there, that young man that's listening, that fire is in you. Don't turn it down for nobody, because you never know where you end up. Look, I got my own show after how many years, right? Not overnight success, that's for sure. And through the years, I've got into the gym business, and I also got into speaking business, and I studied spiritual psychology. And I wasn't that good of a student in school, to be quite honest. But at the end of the day, I learned how to see what I didn't have and found out how to go get it, right? Do I know everything? No. Am I better than you? Absolutely not. But I'm a guy that keeps trying, and I'm willing to die trying. How about that? I'm that guy that says, you know what, no matter what, we're going to do this. No matter what, I don't know how, but we're going to do this. And that's what you call faith, right? So I want to encourage someone with my story, and I want to encourage someone, no matter what you're dealing with or what you're going through, please stay connected to Source and to the Most High, and please stay connected to what it is that you truly want. I hear people always talk about dreams and goals. Hey, man, all that sounds great, but when you start to walk it out, one foot in front of the other one, that's a whole nother situation, dog, because now you got to make reality, right? I like something that Tony Robbins said. He said, actions without, dreams without actions, I would have quoted properly. Dreams without actions is a wish, right? Some people out there talk about it, right? But it's a whole nother thing when you got to fight for it. Right? When you got to get up and you're saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes before cameras get around, before anybody get around, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And you're looking at a man right now that said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to get up and do it. I wash cars. I wash rooms. I vacuum floors. I ate out of, I stole from stores and got food from the store. When you went to the store, you saw like bologna missing. That was me. Couple cookies and crackers missing. That was me, right? Never robbed anybody or nothing like that. Why am I being so real with you? Why? Because I've come in contact with who I really am and who I was and who I had to be at that time, right? But not anymore. I'm grateful now that I can be this person and be authentic with you and be able to talk to you and reach you. Why should you follow me? Why should you listen to me? Because I want to connect with you and let you know I'm not perfect. I didn't have a perfect dream life. Like I said, I had an abusive father. I had a dad that beat the shit out of me, and excuse my language. I had a dad that did that. No matter what, he did that, right? Because he said, I'm not going to let you grow up like your brothers, right? You're not going to be a nobody and a nothing. You're the baby in the family, and doggone it, you're not going to be a nobody and a nothing, right? So I want to share with somebody out there. I don't know who you are. You're listening. You may be driving in your car. You may be at work. You may have this on your headset. I don't know. But I want to encourage you right now to not let go of what's inside of you. Just because you don't have the right shoes or the right jacket or the right shirt means nothing. None of that means anything. What means everything is that you stay connected to what it is that God put inside of you. Now, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but I will tell you this much. I wish I had a me when I was out there. I wish I had somebody in my ear saying it's going to be okay. I wish I had somebody in my ear letting me know it's going to have some twists and some turns. I wish I had somebody letting me know that. Why? Because there was days I didn't know I was going to make it. There was days that I doubted I was going to make it, right? There was days, right? Now watch this. I want to connect with you again. My mother, people ask me, what about your mom? You never speak of her. My mom, I never had a relationship with. My mother tried to abort me with a hanger. Yeah, she tried to abort me with a hanger, with the testimonies of my dad. She tried to abort me with a hanger, right? And it did not work, right? But I made it. To this very day, I have a hold on the side of my head. If you look really closely, there was a hold here. I had a 1.5-inch hole in my head when I was a baby. Many people don't know that, but I'm going to share that with you today because I want to let you know, why do you want to follow a guy like me? Why do you want to trust and talk to a guy like me? Because I want to connect with you and let you know it's not about being perfect. Right? It's not about saying I'm better or worse. No, it's about saying God gave me something and I'm going to bring it to the world. I want to make my life count for something. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help somebody else be better than they are right now. So that's why I want to encourage people with my life. Think about it. All of us here, right? We're going to be here one day and one day we're not. What are you leaving behind? Right? It's not, no one's going to say, man, you left $700,000. No, that's going to come and go. But who did you touch? Who did you help? Right? Back in the old days, it was all about the go-getters, right? Now, today, I'm all about the go-givers. Who can I give to? Who can I bless? Whose cup can I pour into? That's what this is about for me now. But see, all of that tragedy, God used it for the good, if that makes sense. I like reading the Bible, and one of the quotes that I love in there, it says, all things work together for the good for those who love the Lord and call by his purpose. And I love that quote because I understand I didn't know what I was going through at first. I didn't know what I was getting involved with. I didn't know what was happening, but now I see it. Now I can actually see what I had to go through. Now I can actually see what I had to persevere through. But it wasn't necessarily for me. It was for somebody else. It was for you, sir. It was for you, ma'am. It was for someone that's listening, that young boy, that young girl, that nobody wants to talk to or feels weird or don't feel quite right like themselves. I want to let you know I connect with you, right? My dad used to whip me all the time, and people said, why did your dad beat you like he did? Well, see, a lot of times my dad didn't know about dyslexia. Right? That they thought I was stupid or I couldn't tell colors and I couldn't remember anything. Why? Because my dad always whipped me, gave me a whipping when I didn't learn how to spell words, and gave me a whipping when I couldn't remember colors. And I couldn't understand how in the world could this be healthy? How has this helped me? Does this man even love me? Right? But I knew he had to love on his own. He had his own way of loving. So my support to you out there who's listening, who may have come from a background that's abused, who may have come from a household that wasn't both parents. I sure didn't, but that doesn't mean that you're less than. It doesn't mean that you can't. It doesn't mean anything unless you allow it to be. One thing I learned is watch your words, because your words have power. Right? So whoever I'm talking to out there, that young boy, that young girl, that gentleman out there, that guy, that girl, that really no one really knows, right? That everybody goes home with that secret in their heart. I want to talk to you. I want to say to you, my life's not perfect and it's never been and still not. But one of the things that I'm telling you is that you can keep trying. One of the things I'm telling you, wake up and do it again tomorrow. One of the things that I'm telling you is to be encouraged. Now watch, look what I did with my intro, right? I took my intro and I turned it around for other people. Yeah, I turned it around for someone else. Why? Because I'm not interesting? No. But the question was, why would you want to follow me? Why would you want to listen to me? What brings me to the table? What makes what I'm about to sell you valuable? Why? Because I've been through, and now I know how to get through. And now the biggest piece is I want to bring you through. So whoever you are, boy, woman, girl, young boy, young man, okay, I'm here for you. I want to encourage you, right? Can you hear me? I want to encourage you. Are you listening? I want to encourage you. Because I know sometimes it gets lonely, absolutely. Yeah, have you been mistreated? Sure, I know I have. But can you still get up another day? Can you still make it through? Yes, you can, sir. Yes, you can, ma'am. The answer is yes. So again, this is Jay from JNETICS. This is my opening, my intro to introduce you to who I am. And I believe that's why you should follow. That's why you should listen. And I want to make sure that I answer any questions. And I know we're going to be opening the door for some question and answers. So we'll tune back in with you here in a minute. Back, and I understand that there's some calls that came in and there's some people that want to ask me a few questions, and I'm open to do that. So I'm going to wait and hear the first question, and I believe he has a question. What I'll do, guys, I'll repeat it back so that way everybody can hear the question if you cannot hear. So we're ready when you are, sir. What's your first question?
All right, Jay. So I know you talked a lot about your story.
Yeah.
But I think those who follow you know that you own a gym.
Yes, I do own a gym.
And that's been your trade for the past 3 decades.
Yes, it has. For 30 years, I've owned JNETICS Training Academy, yes.
And with 3 decades comes a lot of experience.
Yes, it does.
You've seen a lot.
Yes.
You've seen fads come and go.
Yes.
You've seen diets come and go.
Yes, I have.
You've seen a lot of gimmicks.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of gimmicks.
But first of all, I want to congratulate you because very few people can say they've been in business for that long.
That's true. Thank you.
And that are still in business.
Thank you. Yes.
Right? But what I want to know is, it's 2019.
Yes.
And social media has really dominated the decade.
Yes, it has.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
it has.
So much information out there.
Mm-hmm.
From someone who's been around this industry for so long, what are your thoughts on very popular diets and fitness regimens like intermittent fasting?
Okay, but let's take the first one, intermittent fasting, and I'll try to move through these. The number one thing is this. If you had a baby, right? If you had a baby and you say, you know what, I'm not going to feed this baby for 9 hours, but it's screaming and crying right now. Why is that baby screaming and crying? Number one, because it's hungry, right? Number two, it needs nourishment. Number three, it's awake, right? And it's saying, I need food. So why would you wait 9 hours or make it fast when the actual body is saying, I need food? You feed it. What I have an issue with the intermittent fasting is this. Hey man, if you're training, you got to first of all keep enough calories so you can sustain your own brain, right? If you're about to do a 500-pound squat, what are you doing? I'm fasting. No way. You don't even go to a gym on an empty stomach and do weights. Okay, a little cardio maybe. But at the end of the day, absolutely not. I'm 100% against intermittent fasting. Why? Because as anything, people abuse everything. They don't know how to use it. Right? And one of the biggest pieces is, hey man, eat food. People have been played with their food so much till folk are afraid to eat. People are afraid to eat lunch, dinner, breakfast. They're afraid to eat. Then they got the people that switched over to vegetarians and things of this nature. There's so many plethoras of things now that's happening. People are scared to eat. So anything that comes along that sounds like science or sounds decent, folk jump on board. But at the end of the day, show me who that's helped. Okay, overall, if you look at the pros of bodybuilding, some of the greats, Sean Ray, Lee Haney, Berto Fox, Ronnie Coleman, who's the best of the best, they would tell you for what? Why would I do that? Right? For what? That doesn't serve me. That's a fad. That won't be here next year. Do you remember when Snackwell cookies came out? I don't know if you're old enough to know. Everybody said, I'll eat a Snackwell cookie because it's got less carbs, less fat, less this. Yeah, but guess what? Now you ate a box of them. See how abused that is? Because you've been playing with people's ideology for so many years. That's why people can't get on board with anything now, right? So intermittent fasting is 100% out. Okay, out. Don't do it. Why? Because if you're a person that's a real training regimen, you're going to pass out. I got people that come to my establishment. I've been working in the fitness business training for years, okay? Not a trainer, but I can tell you right now, I got over 10,000 before and after pictures and results before the internet came along. Why? And you had to eat 6 meals a day. 6 meals a day. Understand, the regular workout person, right, with great genetics, they can get away with a lot of things. And that's what I think a lot of those people who have great genetics, they start stuff like that. Hey, we're going to start doing this, intermittent this, and they go get 9 or 10 people that they audition. Yes, they audition, and then they got the same body types, so they try to sell it to you. Well, that's not effective. I don't know if you remember Dr. Atkins, when he came out the Atkins diet. Well, how did Dr. Atkins die? He died of a heart attack. What? A heart attack? Well, they can't let that out. Well, wait a minute, confirm it, pull it up. Well, how do you think you get a heart attack? Clogged arteries, genetics, in your family? Okay, but who wants to eat all the grease and bacon in the world? Who wants to do that? Well, some people do. So that's why that's going to line up with them. So as far as I'm concerned, absolutely not.
Based on your experience with your body of work, so I think what happens with a lot of these diets, and I know you touched up on that,
yeah,
is that they'll come up, you'll see people who naturally just look really good.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think people are just, getting away from the basics?
I think for sure they're getting away from the basics, and the reason why is because this generation, right, the new generation now, if they call them the millennials, right, they don't know anything that happened before Instagram. They don't know. There were great people, great writers, great speeches, great training programs, great gyms, great physiques. Okay, they call it bodybuilding the classic era. I mean, when the golden era. When people had great symmetry, right? Now, is everybody trying to be a bodybuilder? No. But right now, more and more people are lifting weights. More and more people want that bodybuilder look. or the nice shoulders and the nice arms. More people, I'm not saying everybody, but more and more people want nice delts and good quads. You can ask your average person. They know what a quad is and abdominals and serratus, and they know what lats are, right? 25 years ago, they didn't know what that was. The craze was aerobics, right? Aerobics. But now people are starting to understand. But what happens is their wires get crossed. You have a community that works out. A workout could be anything nowadays. Walking around the mall, that's a workout. Well, you're not going to build strong biceps walking around the mall. Okay? Walking around the mall, that's not going to happen. Right? So the next question I say to you is, when you ask people, what is the right application? What is the application? What are you trying to do? You just can't throw somebody a diet and say, do this. Doesn't work that way. I got to look at your genetic makeup, to be honest with you. But when you keep playing with people's food source, this is what you're getting. Next question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is probably going to be the last question. We've got
Okay.
about 5 minutes left.
All right. Very good.
Jay, another thing. So we know because of social media, a lot of things is blown. There's a lot of information everywhere.
Yes.
Information gets distributed like crazy.
Yes.
And I think what's happened over the last 5 or 6 years is the rise of online programs and online coaching.
Okay.
You obviously, when you got started, there was no internet.
That's right.
But now this is becoming a resource that people want to go to.
Yes.
To get in great shape.
Okay.
So my question to you is, if you're someone who's looking to get in shape, what are some things that you should be looking at before getting into any type of program? And second, do they even work?
Right. Good question. So in other words, you're asking me, does online programs work? Right? Hey, for the person who created them, yes, because they make a whole lot of money sending them to you. Now, for the person who's using them on the other end, no one really checks back in with that person. Okay? No one really calls back up and say, how you doing? I sold 10,000 programs. I want to find out you guys are all okay. No one does that. What if I told you another one? The gyms are not designed to get you in shape. Now, a lot of people are going to freak out on that. Why? The gyms are not designed to get you in shape. What do you mean? They got equipment in there, treadmills in there. How many people walk up to you in the gym when you don't show back up and say, where you been? How's your progress? Right? You have to pay for a trainer. And even then, it's not effective. Right? But the gym, if the gym was designed to get you in shape, if that was their goal, they wouldn't be looking for a member for a ship. Right? That's why they call it a membership. You follow? So here you are saying, wait a minute, man. I want to get in great shape online. I've never seen you. You're going to buy something that I just made up? Yeah. Why? How effective is it? That's the first question you should ask me. Has anybody else done this? If a woman right now was going to get breast augmentation, she wouldn't walk up and I say, hey, man, I do breasts. You're like, well, I need them done. That's not going to work. Why? You know what they're going to do? Research, ask around, ask questions. Why? Because that's about to alter how I look. But why would I turn my body over to somebody that says I have a program and they gave me a great video? Why would I turn my body over to that person? And how do I know? What do I get back? How many people you hear get a guarantee? They don't. How many people say satisfaction on your money back? They don't. Why? Because they're going to base it on you. Well, you didn't do this right, or you didn't do that right, or you're not. Well, because I'm not there with you. Now, Jay, wait a minute. You got to be fair. What if somebody in Chicago that's not in Los Angeles and they can't come to the gym? Guess what? Guess what? You're right. They're going to have to find somebody with that same fire that wants to work with them to make it happen. If the dentist called you right now and told you to pull your 9th molar, could you do it? Probably not. I wouldn't even try it because, uh-oh, I'm bleeding to death. Hello, where's the pamphlet on that? Well, there isn't one. You're in trouble. Well, same thing. Who's going to troubleshoot your workout? Who's going to make sure you do it? Nobody, because once they make the sale, they're done with you. Okay? I know people that's constantly saying they're online. I know people that got online because they weren't making it well in the gym. So they say, I'm going to throw my hat online. Somebody's going to buy my program. They don't know I suck. Right? Do you know what it takes to be a personal trainer? Most times, not all the times, most times, you can download your own certificate, swipe $295, pass a test online, and you're a trainer Monday. Or go to a gym, they have their own personal training certificate. Each gym now has jumped in on it. Why? Because it's the most unregulated business in the world. See, I get upset about it and please forgive me, because I believe that all the people that I've been entrusted with, they entrusted me to teach them what I know and to actually have a result. Come on, man. Would you let somebody operate on your family member that don't know what they're doing? Doc, what's she going to get? I'm going to pull her heart out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. We're going to put it back. Hey, this guy's got a track record of 405,000 surgeries. 99.8 of them has been wonderful, no problems, and he can troubleshoot. You would probably trust that guy. Here's a person now in our day and age that's on Instagram, got a nice story, got a nice videographer, went and got a nice model, paid her, right, to say she lost 20 pounds, right? And now they're going to sell you a program? Tell them, say, if this don't work for me, what do I get? You probably won't hear back from them. Why? Because they're not prepared for that answer. They're not prepared for that question. See, here's something I want to share. I've been kicked out of 13 different gyms. They've asked me, do not come back. What did you do, Jay? Did you start a... No. I started talking to my customer or to a person, and someone overheard and said, hey, that makes sense. Hey, wait a minute. Sir, can I talk to you? Can I get your card? Why? Because it's the most unregulated business in the world. So I believe truly, how effective can it be? You can sell anything, right? But how effective is it? Are you going to be there after the sale, right? What are you going to do beyond that point? That's what I'm about. Hey, man, I've been entrusted. I get paid when people get their results. That's what I get. There was a time when I first started my business, I charged nothing. I told people, I'll train you for 90 days, and you pay me at the end of it. What? Well, this is Los Angeles, and that's something you don't do. Because at the end of 90 days, people look great, and they bounced, right? But the bottom line was, it showed I knew what I was doing. So people saw that. And that's how I went over, 350 clients at a time. Why? I had a staff and everything else. Why? Because they said, this person has the results. Okay? There was no fix it up on the computer. No, black and white picture or color photo, that was it. So thank you for your question.